Deep in the forest, tucked into a nook down by the river, sits a little cabin. My partner and I spent years fixing it up, learning how to build and be more self-sufficient off-grid, in the hopes that we could come here to escape the modern world and reconnect to nature. Slowly but surely, the inside came together, then the exterior, nail by nail, shake by shake, until the structure was finally finished. And you can watch that journey across my channel, but it really started to feel like a home, with everything moved in, and the garden beginning to produce fresh vegetables and herbs. The property came to life, and so many memories were being made. After years of work, we got to enjoy this special place, but unfortunately, we're not allowed to live there full-time due to current laws. So then, after searching for a long time, we eventually found an A-frame cabin to live in, but needed everything to be redone. So our time at the off-grid cabin essentially went away, as our home needed all of our attention. And as a result, the yard and garden became overgrown, though we do intend to care for it fully again when the A-frame is complete. The thing is, there's lots of old trees near the off-grid cabin, and they can snap easily. So every winter, when the snow comes and heavies the branches, we get nervous. I mean, it has certainly survived many blizzards at this point, but you never know, especially when we aren't always there. And after these severe storms and the polar vortex recently, it was time to make the trek out there to check for damage. And last time we did this, we broke down and I crashed.
Okay, it is time to get packed.
Last time we did this, everything felt different. The conditions weren't as good. There were bare patches on the trails and rocks sticking out. And I had not had as much experience on a snowmobile, so I did snap my ski. But this time, we had plenty of sunshine, lots of inches of snow. The only thing we had to worry about with all of the intense wind was if there were fallen branches or big trees across the trails. That, and Kyle also had a rib injury we were aware of that at the time we thought was minor, so we agreed to take it easy. We both felt prepared and really eager to get out there. All we could do at this point was hope for smooth riding and that nothing had happened to the cabin. At this point, the forest floor became coated in broken twigs, and we ran into our first obstacles.
This is where it's all important, because if I take this wide, oh, this is going to be hard.
snow. We need to get that going right now. I think this thing's going to explode when I open it. Feels really good to be back here. There's not too much destruction. Of course, everything's covered in little sticks and pine needles, but no huge branches and no trees falling on the cabin. Did a couple of chores this morning, but I still have to get a bunch of firewood in here. Super cold, but it's sunny. I brought my sourdough starter with me because I'm going to make something that I've been craving for a really long time. I'm excited to see how it comes out. Actually, I need to feed this. I can't even. Yeah, that's nice. Gotta discard some of this. This bag got pretty banged up on the ride in, so I have to be careful. The bottom's completely blown out. Alright, I'm gonna put this by the fire because the filtered river water is still super cold and you really want this to be at about 75 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal. So let that warm up and get active, and then I can make my meal that I have in mind. Now I can make us a little bit of breakfast. I don't know exactly how much propane we have right now, so if I can cook something on the wood stove, that's what I'm gonna do. So I've got some sourdough bread, part of breakfast.
The toe.
All right.
Wow.
That's nice. What if I called my starter Bad Moon? There's a bad moon on the rise.
These are the rakers. They're what determines how much the tooth cuts.
What's the difference between this and this? The layer?
That's why it's called a safety chain. There's double rakers.
Oh.
A real chain is called a full chisel, so the tooth will come up and make a hard 90-degree point here. Here they are like rounded, you see. It's meant for someone who doesn't know how to run a chainsaw. That's why it's on an electric chainsaw from Home Depot.
For me.
Yeah, files only cut one way, so you can't go back and forth. They only cut one direction.
If we had this last night, we would have been in good hands.
Yeah, it's almost like tempting to go back to that area and just
Finish
it up. I just don't want to use up gas, is the only thing.
Yeah.
The more you file the rakers down, the bigger the chunks come out. You know your saw is dull when it's shooting out dust. You want chunks of wood to come out from whatever you're cutting. The trade-off is it pulls you like crazy through the wood, and it can be, you know, dangerous if you're not in control. One evening. One evening as the sun went down in the jungle fire was burning.
You kind of look like one of the 7 dwarfs right now.
What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know, like a gnome or something. Just the way your hat.
We're burning. I gotta do it on my own accord.
Is that a pun?
We spent most of the morning inside, and all I wanted last night was to be in a place that was really warm and cozy, but now it's pretty hot in here, and we're both craving to get outside and get some fresh air, get in the sunshine, see if there's any more destruction that we missed in the property. And we brought some snowshoes. I think we're gonna go for a walk. I mean, you can't really get through the snow unless you're in snowshoes at this point. The top layer is completely covered in ice, so when you break through, every step hits your shins. And then we have the chainsaw in case we come across more fallen trees on the trail, try to move those around. But I was doing some Sudoku in here this morning, and looking back on the pages, it goes to August of 2023. I've been writing really quick journal entries of what's been going on, so reading that back this morning was really cool. Back when Mowgli was here, spent a lot more time here, but now we've got the A-frame. My pair of Blundstones I've had for 4 or 5 years. Wore them so often, and they finally broke. So water and snow are just pouring in there. Got some duct tape, and we're gonna see what we can do.
Gorilla tape.
Gorilla tape.
You should probably wait for it to warm up.
Yeah.
Since we've been here, we've used 20% of just the main one. So that's really, like, considering there are 3, When you really think about it, that's just like not much, and especially.
Guess we'll start up here. Garden looks okay. Oh no, wait, there's a piece of the fence gone, but that happens every year. This garden needs some serious TLC. My eyes are taking so long to adjust to this. It feels good to be out here. That's a big one. Sections that are all the way down. Wow. Right through.
Man, the difference is crazy. That is nice.
How long has that branch been there?
I think 2 years almost.
And it just takes 2 seconds to get it done.
Man, it's cutting. It pulls you right through, doesn't it? Nice.
All right, the new plan is that we're going to harvest and make firewood out of that fallen tree. So we're back at the cabin. We've got the snowmobile with the sled right there. We're gonna fire it up, go see what we can get. Can never have too much firewood. Oh man, I'm glad that fired up. We were not sure if that was going to. Oh my gosh, that is why we wear snowshoes. Oh, it fell right in. Oh no.
That battery must have been busted because this is going right through this like nothing.
Sort of starting to wind down for the day. We're still in that pocket of winter where there's not a ton of sunlight, so not too long from now it will start getting dark and there's so many things we have to pay attention to when we're here to make sure that we keep things charged. I have all my gear, flashlights, the batteries we used on the equipment earlier, like the chainsaw. At this point, I'm sure you guys know that Kyle and I are huge fans of Jackery. We use it here and at the A-frame cabin. They're actually the sponsor of this video, and I'm really excited to tell you about the 2000 V2 solar generator. It's safe, sustainable, very convenient. I can carry it around super easily. One of my favorite features is the flashlight, so you know you always have an additional source of light if you need it. When we're off grid, it gives us so much peace of mind because not only can it handle charging batteries and things like our tools and our phones, we also can rely on it to make sure we don't get stranded here because we're able to power and recharge the battery in the snowmobiles. It's got a 2042 watt hour capacity, 2200 watt output power. Back at the A-frame, we also use this. We can power any of our large appliances. Being off grid, the way that we charge the V2 would be with the solar panels. You plug it right in and it gets charging. It'll be full capacity in 2 hours. I also don't have to worry about the fact that it's getting extremely cold outside. The V2 is going to work down to negative 20 degrees Celsius. There's so much ice and severe wind right now that destruction is everywhere. There's trees falling down on the power lines, knocking the power out, but with the V2, I know that we'll be fine. So if you're curious about home backup power or solar generators, you can learn more about the 2000 V2 by clicking the link in my description. Thank you again to Jackery, not only for sponsoring this video, but for keeping us powered. Get the rounds in and one could be taking inside some wood.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Nice.
It splits pretty easy.
It's dry, isn't it?
Yeah.
Throw me one of those pieces?
Yeah, feel that.
It's definitely been dead a while.
What do you think?
Unbelievable.
I think this should be a new staple for us in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
I used to sleep with braids in my hair almost every single night to just stop it from getting tangled a bit, and I just found out this new way to sleep with my hair that gives really nice curls. Pretty funny. You take 2 socks, and I think these wool ones work the best. Almost like a French braid, but just with twisting. And then you'll grab another section, keeping it pretty tight. Not so much that you pull on your scalp, but enough that the curls are locked in there. So holding the bottom, you flip the sock up over the curls. And like I said, with the wool, it just stays right in place. It also doesn't really bother me as I sleep on my side a lot, and these kind of just push out of the way. It's not like they're secure, but they're not so secure that you can't sleep on the side. They move around. And there you have it. And you wake up with nice curls, and your hair is protected, and you don't have to use heat on it. Research dating back to ancient Mesopotamia suggests that beer preceded bread as a caloric staple and as a way to preserve grains throughout the winter.
Caloric staple? How long have I been telling you that?
it's...
And if I don't take that with me to the grave from here on out.
There are reports of people drinking more than a gallon of small beer daily.
Small beer?
Clocks in around 1% alcohol by volume. Oh. So it was only 1% alcohol.
That was barely beer.
Yeah, okay.
Just
a gallon.
enough to make, I mean...
Yeah, just enough.
Delicious.
sit down in this one. Woo! It's cold already. Cold just watching. Starts to feel so good though. Oh man. Woo! That'll wake you right up. Whew. Kyle, when he did his cold plunge this morning, had to take a really deep breath over and over again. That's what happens when you go in, and in doing that, where he had hurt his ribs, his lungs had to expand a lot, and at some point in there, has re-injured them or made it worse.
Yeah, they're definitely broken now.
Yeah, so we're pretty sure they're broken, and that makes snowmobiling, of course, really hard. Hopefully we can make it home on the snowmobiles. The heat from the wood stove inside the cabin has been melting the snow on the roof, and we've got these gigantic icicles hanging from the cabin, perfectly dripping onto the propane. This valve is completely covered. You can see it's just like this bulb or globe around it. The other one, if I tap it out, maybe I can move it. It would really be unfortunate to not shut this off before we leave, just because I think we have a little leak right now and I don't want it to get emptied. I can definitely shut this part off. Oh, it's tough. Okay, well, let's see. All right.
At that point, it felt like the mission was complete. We had gotten there safely, checked in on everything, enjoyed our time. Everything was in pretty good shape, except, of course, for Kyle's ribs, but he did feel up for the trip. So we packed up and headed back to the A-frame, and I already couldn't wait for our next time here, though it'd probably be well after the snow melts.
I might be able to sneak through now that I got it pulled up. This is where we got stuck before at nighttime. It looks like things have moved around a bit.